Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm actually kind of hairy. Like I have a pretty strong facial hair game. Like it grows out pretty fast. Like within 3 days, I can start to look like Dubai. Like within 3 days, I can start looking like a Chinese emperor. And not only that, but I have some pretty powerful pubes. And I never really liked that about myself, and I've always wanted to be that like slim, hairless dolphin bottom, you know what I mean? Super silky smooth and hairless. And I feel like that kind of bottom is like really on demand. So yeah, I want that for myself. And thankfully for me, one of my subscribers actually owns a gay beauty clinic here in the city. So I can finally get my hair lasered and finally live out my dreams of being a smooth, hairless bottom. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. But just for transparency's sake, the place I'm going to go to, this place actually did originally try to sponsor me. So yes, this video is sponsored, but just to let you know, at the time of me trying out the service, I actually went in as a full paying customer. I did not accept the sponsorship yet. Basically 100% of the stuff that I say in this review is going to be stuff that I would have said anyways, regardless of the sponsorship, so you can rest easy. But anyways, yeah, that's let's go check it out. Hey guys! So it's been like roughly 2.5 weeks since I went for my gay little spa treatment. I did the laser hair removal for my pits and my ass. Plus I also got like this chemical face peeling thing, and I kind of want to talk about all of it. So this is the first time I ever did something like this, and I gotta say that my first experience was pretty good. Upon entering the spa, I was greeted with this very pleasant, festive, holiday atmosphere. Maybe it's because I came in right before the start of December, but it had very Christmassy vibes. It was very cozy, very homey, and I was served this really cute cup of tea. I don't know what kind of tea it was, but I remember it being kind of citrusy sour and slightly floral in flavor. And they also gave me this emotional support rabbit. So I did the chemical face peeling thing first, but I'm gonna talk about the laser hair removal thing first because that's what I went there for, right? So let's play a game. On a scale to 1 to 10, how much do you think that thing hurt? Do you think it hurt a little bit? Or do you think it hurt a lot? Good opinions, but the answer is 0. That's right, the laser thing was totally, completely painless. Except for this like one part, which I'll get into later. But for the most part, it kind of just felt like someone slapped on some like cold Vaseline into my armpits and then just rubbed like a billiard ball into it or something, you know? The entire process was also just really quick. For each pit, I think it was a total of like 3 to 5 minutes, which includes the shaving and the actual burning part. So the entire thing was like 10 to 15 minutes, probably less than 15 minutes. It just didn't feel very long, you know? But as for the ass though, yeah, so remember how I said that the laser thing was like mostly painless? Well, for the ass portion of the laser hair removal, like I wouldn't say it was painful, but there were moments where it was kind of uncomfortable. Like it kind of felt like almost like a jolt, like a shock of extreme warmth. Again, it wasn't painful, but it was definitely not comfortable. And I'm not sure if that's because they didn't put enough cooling gel on my ass area or because that's just the way it has to be given the nature of the area. If you've done laser hair removal before on your ass, feel free to let me know if it's normal to have that feeling in your ass area. Because yeah, for me, there's definitely a few moments where like I felt like this jolt of like extreme warmth, and it was, you know, just shocking. It's like a semi-electric jolt, but like not as intense. And this was like only in the ass area. Like the armpit area was like totally painless. It just literally felt like someone was rubbing a billiard ball into my armpit. And yeah, so after the second day of treatment, I will say that's when it like started to get a little bit itchy because, you know, hair nubs were growing back a little bit. But then like by the 4th day, it was like, you know, normal, like unnoticeable. And then yeah, like after a week, I can see that like the hair nubs are definitely growing back. But even though it's growing back, like I can confidently say like from a distance, it still kind of looks like that I'm pretty hairless. Like when I was working out and looking at the mirror, like I, you know, was doing them presses. And yeah, from a distance, it just looks like I'm smooth and hairless, even though I can notice the hair myself. And this is what it looks like 2.5 weeks after the treatment. Still relatively hairless, right? Still relatively smooth, at least from a distance, which I like. So yeah, it's like lasting me a while. It's like a good value. Now onto the skincare portion. So as you can see here, this is roughly 1 week after the treatment, and I'll just let my past self describe this part for you. So it's been roughly a week since I went to my little spa treatment session, and as you can see, so far so good. My skin looks pretty nice. I don't really have any side effects. Like I recall them saying that like I might potentially have like flaky skin or something, but like that never happened. Like within the week post treatment, like there was no flaky skin or whatever. My skin just felt nice and normal. Like my skin looked maybe a little bit more glowy and it looked a little bit more smoother than usual. But I can't tell if that's just, you know, bias, if that's just a placebo effect. Like I'm just deluluing myself into thinking that looks better because I paid for the treatment, right? But I mean, like I have video evidence, so like you can check out, I'll put up the side by side right here. better? Does my skin look better? Does my skin look different? No color grading, by the way. This is all natural. So, how was the treatment itself? Overall, the treatment was very relaxing. Like, I basically micro-slept. Like, I felt like every time he, like, did something new, like, I fell asleep for, like, 5 minutes or something. Overall, very nice. I felt very clean afterwards, you know, very soothed. And my skin did feel really nice and, like I felt like I was glowing, you know? So yeah, it was just really good, really relaxing. And I would say my only complaint was the pimple removal part, only because it felt unnecessary and like was painful. Like I know this pimple removal thing is like pretty popular in Asia, but for me personally, I feel like I could have done without it, especially since, okay, well, I'm not a beauty expert, right? But I felt like the things that were being removed off my face were sebaceous filaments, which I think are like, they're not pimples, they'll just come back anyways, right? So it kind of felt like unnecessary for me. But then again, I might not know what the difference between a sebaceous filament and a white pimple actually is, you know? But for me, I feel like I didn't need it, but I'm not really an expert, so I'll let someone in the comments who knows way more than I do tell me more about that. But overall, I could have done without the pimple treatment because everything else was good, everything else was super relaxing and nice, and I felt pampered. And then the pimple part was like, oh, pain. Though I'm pretty sure other guests would appreciate it. I think it would be better if like on the menu itself, it had like small details on like what exactly each step of the process is. So that I can be like, oh yeah, so this part, the pimple popping part, I don't need that. Just skip it, you know? And it would also be very useful if they included like the actual serums of what they were doing in each step of the procedure. Just because I think it's handy and I think it's just, you know, useful information to have. I want to know what's being put on my skin. But yeah, those were like my only 2 points of critique during this process. Because even like 2 weeks later, I feel like my skin feels great. I mean, even 1 week after the treatment, my skin still felt like glowy. And yeah, I do have my own skincare routine, though it's kind of basic. So I do think the fact that like, you know, in this video, you can see that my skin looks a little bit better. And that's just like a testament to the service that was being provided. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but in this video, I used absolutely no color grading at all. So yep, there's no alteration to this footage. What you're seeing here is just natural lighting, baby. This is the purest you'll see my face on this channel. So you guys be the judge. Now, would I use this service again? For the laser hair removal for the ass and the armpit? Absolutely. Especially since it was only 250,000. Like that is such a steal. Especially if you're like used to like Vancouver prices like me. Like, oh my God. And apparently, according to them, they said that with each consecutive treatment that I would do, the hairlessness will last longer. And the guy who runs the show, like he's a professional who works in the beauty industry here in Vietnam. So like I'm inclined to believe him. And the service was so quick and so easy and it was very comfortable. Like I don't see why I wouldn't do it, especially since I want to be like hairless, you know? But again, I would only suggest that they add more cooling gel for the ass part. I mean, I don't know how much they added, but I still felt like some jolts here and there. But I guess, you know, I'll find out the next time I go there with specifically a request, like, you know, more cooling gel, and then I'll report back and see if it actually makes a difference. Now, would I do the skincare chemical face peel thing again? The answer to that is yes, if I had more money. So the treatment was slightly more expensive. It was like 800,000. There was certainly more stuff involved and like it lasted like a whole hour or at least like 40 minutes. It's just that for me, it kind of felt like more of a luxury than a necessity because like skincare is a long-term game. I mean, based on what I know about skincare. If I'm wrong, let me know. But because it's such a long-term thing, I would have to do this treatment like several times for me to like really notice the effects of it. And I'm pretty sure like, even though like I said, like I felt like there was a difference, I'm aware that it could just be like a placebo effect. Like I could be just like deluluing myself into thinking that like, oh yeah, my skin looks extra special today, especially because I did that service, right? So yeah, I'm aware that it could be a placebo thing, but even if it was, I don't think that's a bad thing because you still feel good at the end of the day. And like, isn't it the point of going to like a beauty spa to like come out feeling good about yourself? And it was also like a really comfortable experience. Like I basically slept while I was in there. And for me personally, like I am so lazy when it comes to skincare. Like I only do like the basic like sunscreen and moisturizer and retinol and stuff. But there's all this stuff about like toners and face masks and all this other shit that I don't have the knowledge currently about all that shit. So it's nice to have like a professional who could like just slap all that shit on my face and like, you know, do this stuff for me. So yeah, as a non-professional, as someone who doesn't really look into skincare stuff super thoroughly, I would say that I would totally do this service like once every 2 months as a luxury, as a little treat for myself. And if that happens, I'll probably make another video and report back to you guys on like, you know, the difference between my skin in the next year or something, you know? Like again, skincare is a long-term thing. It's kind of like going to the gym. You keep consistently doing it, the results will probably speak for itself. So let's see. So yeah, that was my experience at MSM Supple Care. Overall, really great experience. I would definitely be coming back, especially so that I can continue living the dream as being a hairless bottom. And also just because I really like this place. Because, well, Well, not to be like shady or like petty, but like the other gay beauty clinics that provide similar services like hair removal and waxing and all that kind of stuff. How do I put this? Okay, like the other gay clinics that I've seen, I often see them advertising their services on like Grindr and on Twitter and X. And the things that they post makes me feel like they aren't like trustworthy. Like it's always them posting like pictures of the super hot guy, or like they themselves are that hot guy and they're just posting like thirst traps of themselves. Some of them even like post like flat out videos of them doing stuff with their clients. And to me, that makes me feel as though the focus of the service isn't actually the beauty part of the gay beauty clinic, but rather you're like paying for like a hot guy to just like do stuff for you under the guise of waxing. Which makes me like question, like, do they know what they're doing? Do you know how to actually use this equipment? Are you actually knowledgeable? I don't know. But for here, I actually feel like the focus is on the beauty aspect. Like it just feels a lot more genuine, you know? Like they've even collaborated with like a local gay clinic. It's called Gallant, by the way. They're involved in the community, you know? Which I like. It just makes the whole business feel a lot more genuine, and I like that a lot about this place. Not to mention the guy who's doing the service is a professional in the industry, so you know, just a lot more trustworthy. If you're interested in getting a laser hair removal service or other skincare services, feel free to reach out to them on their Instagram. I have them linked in the description below. And if you let them know that I sent you, they'll give you a 10% off discount to all of their services. But this is only applicable within the 30 days that this video uploads. So what are you waiting for? Oh, and just like one last note for the foreigners out there. So because this business is a bit of a smaller business, the spa itself is located inside a house. So when you arrive at the address, this is what it's gonna look like. So don't freak out. You're not getting scammed. No one's gonna kidnap you. It just doesn't have a storefront. It's just a small business. That's all. But anyways, yeah, thank you for watching my video. Thank you for tuning in. That's everything I have to say for now. So I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye.